This is big breaking emergency news. The mayor of Springfield has now spilled the beans on what is really happening behind the scenes in the city of Springfield, Ohio. He was doing an interview on MSNBC and he revealed that there is something more sinister going on than just the federal government bringing people here and funding it. He said that there are other actors involved. There's companies, there's organizations that it's their entire goal and motive to facilitate this operation. And he even warned that there are potentially organizations that are buying up all the housing, kicking out Americans, and only allowing, quote, new arrivals and migrants to rent these houses. That's what he's warning of on live TV. So let's get into the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. All right, we also have another warning from a citizen in Springfield saying that she cannot get housing and she has to move in with her son and live with her son because there's no housing available for her anymore. All right, so listen to what the Springfield mayor said on MSNBC in this interview. All right,
coming into a town that's going to, with a different culture, will definitely cause some strain or some discomfort among some folks there. Is any of this helping that situation, helping your town ease the strain and accommodate the new people and make the people who were already there feel like there's a place for them as well?
Well, I want to make sure we understand the number. Probably we're looking more like 12 to 15,000. We've said and heard up to 20, but just want to make sure that's understood. The fact is, when this strain is put on any city, you're going to have different reactions, and that's what we're seeing in Springfield. So like I said, I empathize with the fear and concern. At the same time, yes, do companies hire Haitians? Yes, and do they show up to work and do their job? Yes, they do. Do they are they paying rent? Yes, they are. Are they buying houses? Yes, they are. So these things are happening, but I understand and empathize with the citizens that are there. We've had another issue with houses being sold to large LLCs that are buying up many houses and then displacing folks that have been faithfully paying rent. And then from that, they have moved in immigrants because they're paying higher rents and exploiting their rents. That's happened in Springfield. And so folks are coming to city meetings and say, I've been displaced. I've been told that I was evicted because I can't pay a higher rent. That's unfair too. And that's not right.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. I'm sorry that your town has to be in the spotlight for.
All right. So did you guys hear that? What he was saying on MSNBC? He's saying that there's tons of these LLCs, these companies that are just being created left and right, which anyone can create. By the way, if you have a couple $100, you can set up a LLC, and a lot of these are shell companies. A lot of these are foreign shell companies for foreign investment funds and hedge funds, and they are buying up all the property in the United States. And he's even saying that they're kicking out U.S. citizens and residents that have lived there for years and exclusively renting to new people that are coming because they can pay more, because they put 20 people in a house. Okay, 20 people all paying $200 a month. That's $4,000 a month when the house would normally only be $1,200, $1,500 a month for a normal family or a regular home to be rented out, right? That's what prices would normally be, and they've doubled, tripled in some instances, especially for lower income housing. This is a major issue for people in Springfield right now. So what's going on? Why are these foreign companies being allowed, and any of these companies being allowed to come in and buy up all this critical housing right now when there's a major housing shortage? There was only less than 60,000 people, and 15 to 20,000 people have arrived. This is almost a quarter of their population has influxed over the past 6 months to a year. All right, this is big for Springfield. And listen to what residents are saying here too. They're saying that they cannot get housing and they have to move in with their family members, and her son because things are getting so unaffordable.
Hello, and thank you for this. Thank you everybody else for coming and listening. First I want to start by, there's supposed to be a driving education program, and I really appreciate that. Hopefully it will help. I am a disabled elderly woman that has such high anxiety leaving my house that I rarely do. And when I do, I'm armed and I have my 120-pound pit bull with me. I've been followed. I've been groped. I'm 58 years old. I'm scared for the women here. I'm scared for my granddaughters. The schools are overcrowded. Our education system has went in the trash in the last 10 years anyway. You ask a 16-year-old out on the street, what does independence mean? They don't know. Ask them what year this city was founded. They don't know. Ask them what year this country was founded. They don't know. This influx is making it worse for them. Housing. Housing is another issue. The overcrowding in housing. My son had to give me his house and move to another house because I can't find housing. I went to an apartment complex being built, and I was told that I am not allowed to apply.
Sorry. Ma'am, I thank you for your comments. We've had 3 minutes. We've written several of your statements down, and we're going to look into them for you.
Thank you.
Noelle Bales?
All right, so you heard that there. And she's even reporting that there is potentially new housing being built, which is happening all over the country, actually. New apartments, new condos, essentially. Giant apartment buildings are being built all over the country. There was a massive one just approved in New York just recently. And she's saying that she tried to apply and she said she's not allowed to apply, right? So that could be related to this problem. That's what she was insinuating. And there's probably hundreds of other citizens that have lived there before this issue that are applying for these programs too. People are saying that it's straining all the benefits for the town of Springfield right now, right? Because a lot of these things they're allocated by region, by area, by town. These budgets are given out, and once they reach their budget limit, they don't really get any more resources, all right? So a lot of these things are being tapped into by now an additional 15 to 20,000 people, and this is causing a massive strain on that and a backlog of processing as well too. And people are reporting homeless on the street in Springfield that they're not able to get these housing vouchers anymore. It's not happening anymore for them. They used to be able to get these things like Section 8 and certain affordable housing was available to them, and they're saying all of these things they're just not available anymore. They're too competitive now. There's too many people already on the wait list, and they pretty much can't apply, right? Like this lady's saying, you just can't even apply. We already have they probably are building a place with all the rooms and everything already booked out. And a lot of these budgets are coming from the federal government and local governments as well, right? So please just hit it up for me down there, guys, to help get these warnings out. I appreciate that. People are struggling and need a voice, okay? There's been a lot of pushback saying, hey, we shouldn't talk about things like this. But I'm just trying to bring you the facts of what's happening inside the city right now. Citizens are struggling. Citizens are worried. And this is having a major impact for their lives, okay? And it's really not fair to anyone. Living in a house with 20 people in a 2-bedroom, with 20 different people is not humane either. This isn't a real solution. And if anyone else was doing this, if you tried to live in a house with 20 different people, you would be evicted from rent, but they're allowing it because they're just paying extra with the extra people. And it's unsanitary as well too. There's like code, housing laws, all these things where you can't have more X amount of people in a dwelling, okay? And 20, I'm sure, is definitely over the limit for single family dwelling units. I'm sure there's a ton of rules and regulations. This is in the middle of Springfield, the city. This isn't out in the middle of the sticks, in the middle of nowhere where there's no regulations. Even then, there's probably some kind of rules if you have 20 people living in a house. But this is right in the middle of a city. I'm sure there's a ton of code violations and all these things that are going on too, and it's just allowed to happen. For some reason, who owns these companies? Okay, this mayor said there's all these LLCs. He said there's a bunch of them popping up and buying up all the homes and all the apartments in Springfield. This is actually happening all over the country right now. And this should not be allowed. These corporations, these mega hedge funds like BlackRock are buying them too, domestic ones. And there's also foreign hedge funds and shell groups that are operating through hundreds of different LLCs that are all buying them as well too, right? None of these things should be allowed. And they're creating a situation where everyone is going to be a permanent renter. Okay, housing prices have already skyrocketed. They're already, just the past few years, trust me, I'm looking at these things all the time. And interest rates, highest they've been in decades. They're talking about bringing them down a quarter point or half a point, thankfully. All right, so that might help a little bit. We'll see what the reaction is. But housing prices have skyrocketed the past few years. Just since 2019, 2020, things have doubled a lot of places. Some of them even more than that. So we're already dealing with that situation, and then we have this pressure of all these companies buying up all the homes, and then there's also millions of more people that have come into the country the last few years. Estimates are at least over 10 million people have come in since 2021, the beginning of 2021, a massive influx. And this puts pressure on housing, puts pressure on food, puts pressure on jobs, the supply chain, healthcare systems. It's a major influx that we were not prepared for or ready for in any of these communities. All right, so thank you guys. I hope you're staying safe out there. Make sure you are staying prepared and staying stocked up as well too, because we're going to see more inflation. We're going to see more pressures. Until inflation is negative, the prices haven't gone down, right? It's just the rate at which it's gone up has slowed down. That's all that's happening when inflation goes down. The prices are still doubled what they were just a few years ago, right? Until they start going down, we're still having positive inflation, right? So just stock up on things now. At least you will beat inflation that way, and you will be prepared and ready in case anything happens, right? So thank you guys. I hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.